So let's go ahead and hop into the admissions aspect of it. Whenever you're looking at higher education, you always have to go through the admissions process. So if you want to come to CIU, the first thing that you have to do is get your student to fill out an application. Generally speaking, our applications only take about 10 minutes to complete. And so because we love you guys so much, we just want to give you a code to be able to apply for free. You should see that on your screen. It's CIU bound, and you'll put that in at the end of your application. After you fill out that application, we will need official transcripts. So this is going to be the same for first-time freshmen, transfer students, dual enrollment students, and international students. If you're a first-time freshman, really we're just going to need your official high school transcript once you graduate. If you're a dual enrollment student, we'll need both your high school transcript as well as the transcript from where you got those college credits from. As a transfer student, if you were originally a South Carolina resident, we'll need both your high school transcript as well as your college transcripts. But if you're coming from a different state, we'll just need those college transcripts. And then for international students, we'll need those transcripts to be evaluated. But that's going to require a few extra steps that your admissions counselor can break down for you.
At this time, we're going to do a quick flyover of our financial aid process here at CIU. Parents, if you're a student and you are South Carolina residents and you haven't completed the FAFSA yet, I want to encourage you at this time to go ahead and get that done as soon as possible, as the deadline to be eligible for the South Carolina tuition grant is June 30th. So I want to encourage you to get the FAFSA application done as soon as possible. This is just a good rule of thumb. Even if you're an out-of-state student, if you're planning to do the FAFSA this year, I would encourage you to go ahead and get that done as soon as possible. Also, please remember at the end of your FAFSA application to add Columbia International University as a recipient to your FAFSA information. That way our financial aid has your FAFSA information there. At this time, I want to walk you through our different financial aid scholarships that are available here at CIU. The first one I want to highlight for us this afternoon is our Merit Scholarship. This is a purely academic scholarship. It's based off of your GPA. If you're a high school student, it's based off of your high school GPA. And if you're a transfer student, it's based off of your college transcript there. For first-time freshmen, the Merit Scholarship ranges anywhere from $3,000 to $12,000 a year. And for our transfer students, it ranges anywhere from $3,000 to $8,000 a year. The second scholarship I want to highlight for us this afternoon is our athletic scholarship. This scholarship pertains to student athletes. If you're being recruited by one of our coaches to come and play sport here at CIU, you might be eligible for an athletic scholarship. This scholarship is completely determined by our coaches. So student athletes, make sure you stay in touch with our coaches and see if there is a potential athletic scholarship available for you there. The church matching grant is another really cool opportunity to get more additional aid to go towards your college education. CIU will match any dollar contribution or gift from a church or parachurch organization up to $1,000 towards your education. I want to remind you that the deadline for the church matching grant is July 1st. For the fall semester and December 1st for the spring semester. So I would encourage you, if you're planning to do the church matching grant, to go ahead and get that in as soon as possible as well. The fourth scholarship I want to highlight for us today, this afternoon, is our alumni referral and our legacy grant. If you know anyone who graduated from CIU or who's a CIU alumni, it can be a family member, it can be a grandparent, a sibling, or it might be your youth pastor or someone, just a family friend that you know. You might be eligible for the alumni referral grant there. You could qualify for up to $4,000 over the 4 year you're here at CIU, $1,000 every year. The last scholarship I want to highlight for us this afternoon is our outside scholarship that are available for you. I'm going to have our friends in the chat go ahead and drop the link to our outside scholarship link in the chat for you there. That way you have that information. This is a list that our financial aid office has compiled for students to go through. I would encourage you to go through that and see if there's any that you might qualify for. Sometimes it just takes writing an essay, or sometimes just doing an interview to see if you can get any scholarship there. I would also encourage you to look in your local community. Look for the Rotary International Club or the Gideons. Sometimes local businesses have funds set aside to help college students with their education. I know as a college student, every bit counts towards your education there.
Money is super important, but another thing that we often think is important is our safety. So campus safety is always going to be a concern both for students and for parents. But you can rest assured that according to Wallet Hub, CIU has been ranked the safest school, not just in South Carolina, but across the nation as well. And so a part of that safety is being able to identify who actually belongs on campus. And how we do that is we have parking decals. And so unlike other universities, students don't need to pay for parking here. It's already included in their tuition. So upon arrival, they'll just simply register their vehicle, and then they'll be given their CIU stickers and be able to park anywhere that there's an open parking spot. So that's just a few things that we do to keep our students safe on campus.
Right along the same line of living on campus, for our residential students, it's a lot of fun to live in the dorms and live on a hall with 30 other guys. It's a safe place where you'll get to enjoy yourself and also build great friendships and relationships. But for our residential students, right along the same line of keeping you safe while you're here on campus, we do have a curfew time for our residential students. During the week, the curfew hour is 1 a.m. and over the weekend, the curfew time is 2 a.m. Parents, you might feel like this curfew, CIU having a curfew for your students might be restricting their freedom, but it's our way to keep them safe and also to help them establish healthy habits while they're in college. At this time, I want to go just a little bit over our dress code here at CIU. The word here is really modesty. There's a lot of freedom in our dress culture here at CIU, in our student body. We welcome and love and encourage your creativity and your sense of style as far as clothing and fashion, but we want to encourage you to dress in a modest way that honors God and also that honors your fellow students and our faculty member here at CIU. I just want to emphasize that sleepwear and gym wear are not acceptable in the classroom. Dress in a way that honors our professors and also your fellow students, but also dress in a comfortable way. We want you to feel comfortable while you're learning and being challenged academically. A huge part of community engagement here at CIU is done through our student clubs and organizations across campus. One thing you will notice during your time here at CIU students is that we strive for community. We want you to be a part of that community. We also want to encourage you to engage and feel like you belong in that community. And the way to engage and feel like you belong in our community is done through our student club and organizations. If you're someone who loves leadership and you want to be a leader among your peers, student government might be for you. So I would encourage you to check that out. Maybe running for an office in our student government. If you're someone who loves adventure, you love hiking, you love going kayaking and floating on the river, I would encourage you to check out the Adventure Club. It would be a great organization for you to be a part of. If you're someone who's passionate about evangelism and bringing the gospel to the nations, I would encourage you to connect with the Student Mission Connection. That's what they do as a student club. If you're someone who loves acting and drama, I would encourage you to check out the CIU Thespians. Every semester they put a play together for the CIU community to enjoy. For our international students, we have the International Student Association available and ready to welcome you when you get here on our campus in Columbia, South Carolina. They're ready to learn more about you, get to know more about your country, and celebrate your culture, and also help you integrate the CIU culture. We also have our African American Student Association. As a side note, you do not need to be of African descent or to be Black to be a part of the African American Student Association. Their whole goal as an organization is to cultivate a culture of diversity and inclusion on our campus. The last organization I want to highlight for us today is MUCAPA. It's the student organization that's there to serve our MKs and third culture kids. If you're someone who's grown up overseas, I would encourage you to connect with them and see how they can help you transition into the CIU culture and the American culture in general. If you're someone who's played sports throughout high school or throughout your life, but you're not looking to be a student athlete because due to the time commitment and just the effort that's needed, I would encourage you to check out our intramural sports. We do have futsal, intramural sports in frisbee, basketball, and softball. That way, you can still play sports, have some fun, but also have a little bit of competition there. If you're passionate about something that we don't offer here at CIU, let's say, for example, archery, I would encourage you to talk and connect with the Student Life Office and look at creating and pioneering your own student club here at CIU during your time.
So for those of you who have students who are interested in being intercollegiate athletes, we compete as CIU in associations and conferences such as the NAIA, the Appalachian Athletic Conference, and the NCCAA as a Division I school. So you can check out a complete list of both the men's and women's sports that we compete in through our athletics page, and our friends in the chat are going to put that in there at ciurams.com. But even if your student doesn't desire to be a student athlete, athletics is a huge part of our culture. It's an opportunity for you to grow in your school pride and your school spirit, to put on all your CIU gear and cheer Rams as your friends are on the soccer field or on the baseball diamond or running around the track. It's a great study break, and it really just helps build community just as a school. We love our athletics teams. Another cool thing that CIU does is we participate in study abroad trips, and we also have internships built into all of our programs of study. So CIU, for its study abroad trip, partners with the Council for Christian Colleges and Universities to offer the best semester. Students will have opportunities to study in countries like Israel, or go to Oxford, or to Washington, D.C., and there's a few other places they can study as well. But as far as the internships go, this is going to be the students' opportunity to not just take this valuable information that they're learning in the classroom in concept. They're going to be able to go into the workforce or into a church or into a business and take that and put it into practice. So that way, upon graduation, they'll be confident that the things they learned in the classroom are actually applicable for real life work.
Right along the same line of career building and opportunity, CIU offers a really cool tool called Handshake. This platform is very comparable to LinkedIn, the online platform for career building. It's a really cool tool that CIU offers for our students to look for on-campus jobs and off-campus jobs, and even an internship opportunity. When you come on campus in August during Welcome Week, we'll go over how to utilize Handshake and how Handshake can be a valuable asset for you during your time here at CIU. It's a really cool platform because it helps connect you with like-minded people who are interested and passionate about the same thing for you. So it helps you build those relationships. Handshake also has the capability of assisting you with resume building. It has some really cool tools on there on how to build your resume and also how to prepare you for interviews. On-campus jobs, a lot of departments on campus hire during the semester. So if your student is looking for a part-time job or for a way to earn some income to maybe help towards their college tuition or to just earn some money on the side for fun, I would encourage them to check out Handshake when they're here to see all the different jobs that are available here on campus. I know that our admissions team hires student workers. We value and love our student workers. Without them, we can't do what we do. And I know that the library hires student workers as well. I know physical plant hires a number of student workers to help and assist them keeping the grounds of the university. So I would encourage you to check out Handshake during your time here and utilize that resource.
We mentioned a lot of important things that we value as a university, but really the one that stands apart, that's the most important to us overall, is the spiritual formation that we have here on campus. Without that, we would just be like any other university, right? But we, in fact, are a Christian university, and we're proud of that. And so we prioritize the Lord in everything that we do here. So things that we do to prioritize spiritual formation will include chapel, prayer days, community groups, and then corporate chapel just as a school. So 3 days per semester we have a prayer day, and that's going to be in the middle of just the class. We set time aside from our academic schedule to come together to pray. Some students even fast on those days, and I've never heard somebody say that it wasn't worth the time.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. We also have community groups, and this is where students will be broken up into smaller groups of around 10 to 15 students, and they'll meet multiple times per semester, and that's where they're going to be able to just engage in a little bit more one-on-one discipleship, more intentional type discipleship. There will also be class chapels where they're either divided into their graduating class or into their degree programs, and they'll be able to meet together and worship in that way. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we participate in corporate chapel, and that's going to be where students get to participate in worship. There's going to be a message, and there's going to be prayer. It is important to note, though, that CIU doesn't offer a campus church, and that's because we want to be really intentional in helping our students get plugged into the community, because they're going to be learning things here in the classroom that can be an absolute asset to a community church. And that's because we don't want just our students to leave being professionals, but be people who can make a difference for the message of Christ anywhere that they go upon graduation.
Well said there, Shiloh. Spiritual formation is something that we take very seriously here at CIU, as our motto as a university is to know Him and to make Him known. As we wrap up this webinar, I want to encourage you to continue staying in touch with us. Students, you might have an admissions counselor. You for sure have an admissions counselor assigned to you. I would encourage you to stay in touch with your admissions counselor throughout the summer. If you are an inquiry, if you are someone who hasn't applied to CIU yet, I would encourage you to go ahead and apply with us so that you're assigned an admissions counselor and we can look at acceptance for you and walk you through the process. On your screen, you'll see our contact information right there. Feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions about any of the content that we covered today. Once again, my name is Abdul, and this is Shiloh, and it was our pleasure being with you this afternoon.